So, we've got some properties. We've got some properties that we're going to discuss with logarithms. There's a product property, a quotient property, and a power property. Product property is the following. If you have log base b of two things being multiplied, I can separate those and say that the log base b of one factor, I can separate these by adding the two factors' logarithms together. This is a property we're going to practice over the next couple days. So product property, quotient property, so wait a second, product property, if I start off with a logarithm of a product, I can separate it. So I'm going to start out with a logarithm of a quotient. So logarithm base b of two things being divided, I can separate those by taking the logarithm of the numerator and subtract the logarithm of the denominator. Power property is if you have log base b of something to a power, this is an exponent, p, I can actually take that power, put it out in front, and multiply it by the logarithm base b of u. So here's what we're going to do. You're going to use this information that log base 5 of 3 is approximately this decimal. You're also going to use the knowledge log base 5 of 7 is approximately 1.209. And we're going to practice these properties. So you got to recognize, what do you have in A that could deal with those properties above? Using the quotient property, because I've got 3 sevenths. Anytime we've got some type of fraction, I'm going to separate these using the quotient property. We take log base 5 of the numerator minus log base 5 of the denominator. And now, wait a second, we're going to use the directions, approximations for this. They tell us log base 5 of 3, we're going to use this decimal for. So we're going to substitute 0.683, and we're going to subtract the other decimal, 1.209. So then we go over to, okay, wait a second, log base 5 of 21. So this is going to be looked at as log base 5 of 3 times 7. Now I'm ready for the product rule. Log base 5 of 3 plus log base 5 of 7, and now I'm going to use those approximations. So now we're ready for C. Now, obviously, if we use the subtraction property or the quotient property, the product property, we're obviously missing a property. We're missing the power property. So how in the world can we change something? We're going to change 49 to be 7 squared. Log base 5 of 7 squared. So now I'm going to use that power property. I'm going to take this 2, this power, and I'm going to bring it around to be a coefficient. So we're going to have 2 times log base 5 of 7, which is extremely helpful. So we're going to double the approximation. We can use the properties of logarithms to expand and condense. These are the two words I was talking about where we're going to practice, okay, what does it mean to expand? Expanding means you want to take something condensed and make it longer, elongate it. Condensing means you're going to take something that's very elongated, it looks like a very long problem, and you're going to condense it. We're also going to practice using using those properties. Whenever the words say expand, I'm going to take something condensed and make it longer using those properties. With that box that you had at the beginning of these notes, expanding is moving in this direction. Meaning you're going to go from pieces that look like a product, and you're going to expand it to where it gets elongated. That's the That's the trend for expanding. When we condense, that arrow is going to switch places. So if you like a visual, that's where we're at. So expanding quotient and powers first, or products first, we are going to have log base 2 of, okay, so expanding that quotient, because that was the suggestion in class, expanding that quotient, we're going to have log base 2 of 7x cubed, the numerator, and we're going to subtract log base 2 of y. So separating the first term, it's going to become log base 2 of 7 plus log base 2 of x cubed, and I'm going to keep that minus log base 2 of y. That's going to just keep tagging along. So the first part is you expand quotient and product rule, and the second part is now you're going to do the powers. So with the power, we do see this power. This power is going to move in front as a coefficient. So the first part, log base 2 of 7 stays, plus, but now I'm going to move that 3 to be a coefficient. Log base 2 of x minus log base 2 of y. This is my final expansion.